Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we look at the long-awaited Drumazon update from D16. And because I don't do clickbait on this channel, let's answer the question in the thumbnail right from the start. Yes, it is the best 909 plugin currently available. And dare I say the best 909 available full stop. There are so many changes to version 2 that it is impossible to go through them all in detail in this video. Instead, what I'll do, I'll give a brief overview of the improvements. I will then run through some presets, and then I'll just have a bit of a play around and see what I can come up with. So essentially, it's broken into two sections, like you have on the first one. There's no change there. You have the synth itself at the top, and then the sequencer down the bottom. The top section then has the ability to split out, from the synth itself into a channel strip view, the master view, and then a triggers out section. So I'll go through all of those in detail. So the synth itself, they're all the same 909 conventional parameters as per the original one, or as per Drumazon 1 I should say. When we get into the strip, that's where it starts really getting exciting. So on the left hand side here, first you select which instrument you would like to adjust. So let's do bass drum. And then we have the conventional parameters here in the middle, and then we have all filters, compression, and then the routing following that. So audio out, or a bus send. And you'll notice there you can send it to bus 1 or 2 and the bus to bus 1 or 2 because we have a fully fledged effects section down the bottom here. That I'll come into in a minute, but let's just finish off this top section. We then have a master view, so we have a multi-band compressor here, going into then a limiter, and then on the triggers MIDI section you can select the drum map for how you want the key commands or how you want the key to trigger each one of those, the instruments. I never use that. I always work in the sequencer section down the bottom, but it is a handy feature to have up here. And then over to the right, you have a trigger out section. So you can set that up to send essentially an audio trigger out to trigger another instrument. So going back to the strip section, let's look at this first. My default preset is, let's say, a boring 4 on the floor kick. So let's just solo the bass and let's listen back to the kick itself. In the strip section, as I mentioned briefly, you have these parameters here. So you've got a filter going into an EQ, and then a compressor, and then the FX routing that I said. But you have the presets up here also for the different types of kick. So if I flick through these, some of them sound amazing. Most of them sound amazing. So I'm just going to pick one. Let's go with Belgian Ale. I quite liked going through that. We can now send that to one of the buses. So let's send this one to bus 1. And you'll see here bus slot 1 through to 5. The reason for that is because each one of the two buses, bus 1 and bus 2 over here, each one of them has 5 slots. So this one on the left hand side goes from distortion, EQ, delay, reverb, where the one on the right hand side, bus 2, you have chorus, big crusher, dynamics, or dynamics 2, or filter. That said, if you don't like the order, you can swap them around. So if you click on one of them, let's click on delay, click on this little guy here, and it moves the delay to the right hand side. Let's then say I don't want it in the first slot, then I simply drag it across to wherever I want, just like that. Go back to distortion, because that's where I want the kick to route into. Let's turn that on and then have a bit of a play. That's sounding quite good already. Then over to the right here, you see a More button. You can click on this to display some additional parameters. I'm quite happy with the way it sounds now, the kick. So those additional parameters I'll come to when I do another instrument. Let's now solo the snare. If I go up now to my snare, click on snare, and now we have the channel strip for the snare. Let's go through some presets here also. That one sounds quite good. Let's now send this one to, let's put EQ over to the right hand side to bus 2. Move that to the front, or the first one. Send this to bus 2, slot 1. And then we're going to take out some lows of that. So gain all the way down, frequency up. Now we want to add a bit of reverb to that, so slot 5, let's move this one across. So now that's in slot 1, let's move that to the end. I accidentally moved the EQ across, so let's move this one back. Just to make sure that you click the corresponding one on the other side to swap out the right one that you want. So here I'm going to swap EQ with Bit Crusher. So now EQ is back to where we had it on slot 1. Go to reverb, turn that on. Now the audio chain is going from slot 1 all the way to slot 5, so this will have reverb on it. It's obviously a bit too much, let's turn that down. Let's now turn the pre-delay up. That sounds like it's in time. Let's just see what it's like at 202. So basically 1/8 it will be. Now let's play around with some of the other parameters. That's sounding good. Let's add back the kick. Let's play that back with just the bass and the snare. Let's put some close stats on here. Again, we can select some presets. Let's do I just want something short like that. Let's go with that. And then open. We can put the choking group back on for those. You'll see sometimes that when I play, it resets the transport here. That's nothing to do with Drumazon. That's all to do with Cubase, the way that's triggering. So it's certainly not a Drumazon issue. Like that, for example. Now we can add one of the new playful features. Let's put a rim shot in here. And And then if we go to the articulation type and then we click on this, then we have a bit of a roll there on that. Maybe do something with a high tom following that, or let's put it over here. Maybe a 2 articulation. And then because we're making techno, let's put on some rides. Turn the level all the way down, otherwise we'll be deaf. Let's get rid of this tom. And instead of that, what we can do is, we can go to the randomize function here, and on high tom, we can select the parameters that we potentially want to randomize. So we can choose whether we want the option to have normal velocity or accented velocity, and then any articulations that we want. So let's do everything, let's go wild. And then click on next and see what this throws up. And let's just do soulless so we can hear that in isolation. Let's maybe just have one roll. That might sound good. Let's just make sure, if we go back to our strip again, on the high tom, let's see what options we have. Actually, going back to the snare, what we can do, instead of using this EQ here, if I solo this, we can use this low cut here. So that's a much better solution. Then we free up one of these EQ slots. So that's sounding like something. Let's add a bit of acid into that. Let's select the clap. We can send that one to the reverb also. Bit of low cut also. Now I'll go through some presets and so you can hear what it sounds like from D16 themselves. Right off the bat, it sounds fantastic. Oh, that's a nice one. Bit of minimal there. Bit of more minimal. I won't go through them all because there are quite a few. I'm not sure exactly, but there must be 150 odd here. All of them I've listened to so far sound absolutely fantastic. And D16, between this, Lush 2 and Fossayan 2, they're really top of their game. So download the demo and you'll be in 909 heaven, I am sure. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.